Okay, we got some
Hi.
sound now. How you doing?
There we go.
Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah,
How
yeah.
are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Can you imagine it has been a year since we started Win TV? You were one of our first guests and we couldn't hear a word you said.
I know. And now I actually know what I'm doing. Well, kind of.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. So glad to have you, and I know that you are your book reviews that you do every week, not only for us but for publications all over the country, and we certainly do appreciate it. So tell us, what are you reading now?
I am finishing up Three Mothers by Anna Malika Tubbs, which you will be able to find in the Washington Informer next week. I'm finishing up a book called Better Luck Next Time. I am already done with a business book, and I have finished also a children's book this week. So that's what I'm reading, and I'm going to be starting another children's book probably this evening.
Terry, you read an average of how many books a year?
Somewhere between 240 and 275.
Amazing, amazing. And how do you do it? It takes me months to get through like a chapter.
I
Only to,
have
I put
I
it
have a
down
book
and
I have a book in every room, and no matter where I am in that room, I can pick up and read for a little while. They're all different, so it doesn't confuse me. The other thing, and the reason I stumbled earlier, is because usually once I finish a book, it flies out of my head and I can't remember what I've read.
you've been writing the column for us now for, God, has it been 17 years? I can't believe
It's
it's
been
been that
somewhere
long.
around 15, 17 years. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and
You
it's
put up
just
with me that long.
well, you're consistent, and that's what I like. You've been consistent. Um, and so, I mean, we get a lot of books. I think you're really good at making sure you do reviews about books that are not only very popular, but some little known books as well. But there are
Mhm.
writers out there, that we come across sometimes, novelists who've written books. What does it take to get a book in front of a reviewer?
It depends on the reviewer. For me, um, it's a matter of who has published your book, geography, and scheduling. There are some publications that are out there, services, if you will, that will review self published authors. And that's what they focus on. That's not what I focus on. Kirkus is one, and Book Life is another. And if you are a self published author and you're eager to get your book reviewed, you need to go to the people who know what they're doing with it. That's not me. But Kirkus, Kirkus, and Book Life, those are the places to go. There are certain things that you want to do. Almost everyone has in place a format that if you want your book to be reviewed, they will tell you, this is what you do, and there are steps that you take, and you don't want to skip any, and you don't want to go outside the rules. So if you do contact one of the a place to get your book reviewed, you need to find out how to do it, and that's usually on a website.
Um, you have put your books together, your book reviews together, usually based on topics. So now we're
Mhm.
doing Black History Month. Next week we may be addressing Women's History Month, and that's only but so many books you can read on those topics. I mean, how do books come to your attention and the selection of ones you decide to review?
I get a lot of I get a lot of pitches from publicists who try to catch my interest. I know where I have to be in a month, and I know what goals I need to hit it pretty much every day. Um, and if I get off track, then I don't get a weekend. That's the basic fact. Then I work, 7, 12 books, 7, 12 weeks a day straight. I don't want to do that. So I know where I have to be each step, and I know what targets I have to hit. Um, the publicists work with me to bring these books to my attention, and from there I can say yes, I can use that. No, I can't. I've already got enough of this. I usually work anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks in advance. I'm already scheduled out pretty much for the first week of April. So I know exactly what I'm going to be doing for the next 6, 7 weeks, which makes my life so much easier. I just look at this big bulletin board on the back and I know exactly where I am.
The other thing that I appreciated very early in our relationship is the fact that you understood that, we were a Black newspaper, that
Mhm.
we wanted to feature Black authors and stories about Black people. But I'm wondering if over that period of time, you've either seen an increase or I mean, what has happened maybe that opened your eyes about Black literature and it's people being able to review it or whether publishing companies were pushing it. What has been
Mhm.
your observation?
There has been in the last year or three um, a, a big push, I guess I would, for want of a better word right now, um, to get more diversity in publishing, not only behind the scenes in the offices, but also in books that are printed. I don't think there's ever been a lack of Black literature. I don't think there's ever been a lack of Black history, but I see more of it. So there are more debut authors. There are more people who are saying, "Hey, I have this story, and I can do this story, and here's my story," and there we go back to to where you're going to get it published and how you're going to get your story to people like you and I. How people are going to get it out to those who might want to read it.
Wonderful. We're going to be talking to one of our favorite bookstores right after this, Mahogany Books in DC. And so I want to thank you so much for continuing to do those reviews. And we have a place to send people to pick them up. And
There's one thing I want to recommend to you.
please.
Dr. Sherman was right when she said pick up the cereal box, because a lot of people don't like their children to read comic books. But you know what? Comic books are reading. And reading is reading is reading. It doesn't matter what it is as long as it is. The other thing that I want to say is that if you don't know where to begin, think about what you like and then head to Mahogany Books, because they have people there who have superpowers, who actually know what books are available and can get out of your head what you like and what you would like to read. It's an amazing power, and I'm serious when I say superpowers. That's all you need to know. If you don't know what to begin with in a book, go ask. That's my best advice.
Thank you, thank you. That's a great segue to our next guest and a great promotion. Thank you so much, Terry, for sharing that information with us. And remember, you can read her book reviews, like I said, every week in the Washington.
Where do you